Okay, so let's talk about our phones. They're packed with apps, right? Especially those ones promising to make us healthier, fitter, more mindful. We download them super motivated, ready to track every single step, every calorie, every minute of sleep. But be honest, how many of those apps are still on your home screen a month later? Today, we're going to get into something that probably feels really familiar. Why do we get so hyped about a new health app, only to totally ghost it a few weeks later? Well, it turns out there's a real science behind why this happens. And, even better, a science to how we can actually fix it. So let's get into it.
I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You download that new shiny app to track your runs or your water intake. You're all in. You think, okay, this is it. This is the one. And then, well, life happens. The notifications start to feel like nagging. You swipe them away. And pretty soon that app is just sitting there taking up space, kind of like a little digital tombstone for your good intentions. But here's the thing. It's not just you. This happens to almost everyone. In fact, it's so common that it has an official name.
Yep, researchers call it the law of attrition. And listen, this isn't just some small, quirky user behavior. It's the single biggest challenge for the entire digital health world. I mean, think about it. An app can have the slickest design, the most amazing features, the best AI, but if people stop using it after 2 weeks, its effectiveness drops to absolute zero. It's useless. And this is what creates that massive, ever-growing digital graveyard of abandoned health apps.
So yeah, let's walk through this health app graveyard for a minute. It's a place where so many brilliant ideas and really promising technologies end up, all because they just couldn't crack the code on keeping us, the humans, engaged.
You see, these things, these digital health interventions, or DHIs for short, they have so much potential. I mean, they could bring healthcare support to millions of people right there in their pocket. It's an amazing idea. But that entire promise gets completely wiped out by this law of attrition. It is the central roadblock stopping these powerful tools from actually making a difference. So if more tech isn't the answer, then what is?
Okay, so let's shift from the problem to a potential solution. A group of researchers believe they've found the key. And get this, it has nothing to do with more features or fancier graphics. It's all about adding a very specific, structured human touch. Let's take a look at a model that could be a total game changer.
All right, it's called the Supportive Accountability Model, or SAM for short. And the main idea behind it is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It all comes down to this. We are way more likely to stick with a goal if there's someone holding us accountable, but, and this is the important part, in a really positive and encouraging way. Think about it like this. It's not about feeling like you're being monitored. It's about feeling like you're being supported. Huge difference.
So what makes this model work so well? Well, it's not just about randomly adding a person to the mix. The model says that for this support to be truly effective, it has to be built on 3 very specific pillars.
Okay, so here they are, the 3 pillars, and it's the combination that's magic. First, you've got accountability. That's the basic part, right? The idea that someone's going to check in with you, that you'll have to report on your progress. Then, number 2 is legitimacy. This one is crucial. You have to believe the person helping you actually knows their stuff, and just as important, that they genuinely have your best interests at heart. And finally, pillar number 3, bond. This is just that simple human connection. You gotta like or at least respect the person you're accountable to.
And this is exactly why all 3 have to be there. Think about it. Accountability on its own, it just feels like nagging. It's like your mom telling you to clean your room. It's all external pressure. And what do we do with that? We push back, we resist, we eventually just drop out. But when you combine that accountability with trust, with legitimacy, and a real human bond, everything changes. It's no longer about outside pressure. It becomes about an internal motivation. You don't want to let down this person you actually trust and respect. That is the secret sauce to making people stick around.
Okay, so this model makes perfect sense, right? It's evidence-based, it's elegant, so you'd think every health app and program out there would be using it. Well, about that. A recent review looked at 36 different studies and found a massive gap between this perfect model and what's actually happening in the real world.
Just look at these numbers. It is absolutely wild. When researchers dug in, they found that a whopping 96% of these programs nailed the accountability part. They had all the progress tracking, the check-ins, the goal setting, all of it. But what about the other 2 pillars, bond and legitimacy? Almost totally forgotten. They were almost never intentionally designed into the system. It's like they just weren't seen as important.
And the crazy part is, it's not like they weren't trying to add human element. Support came from all kinds of people. Peers, actual health experts, trained coaches, and they delivered it in every way you can imagine.
Phone calls, video chats, text messages, in-app messaging, you name it. But no matter who was delivering the support or how they did it, the focus was almost always on just that one piece of the puzzle: accountability. It's literally like trying to build a three-legged stool with only one leg. It's just never going to stand up.
So, all of this brings us to the real takeaway here. If we actually want to solve this law of attrition problem, if we want to stop the health app graveyard from growing, we have to think differently. The answer isn't just building smarter tech, it's about building more human tech. Let's talk about what that really means.
You know, this quote from the researchers who did the big review really just nails it. They said the benefits of these apps cannot be realized without thoughtful, intentional, and faithful integration of human support. What they're saying is, you can't just bolt on a chat feature and check a box that says human support added. It has to be woven into the very fabric of the app from day one. It can't be an afterthought.
So what does this all boil down to? Here it is. Just throwing a coach or a chatbot into an app is not going to cut it. It's not the solution. For human support to actually work, to make people stick around, the design has to intentionally build all three of those pillars. App makers need to be asking themselves, how does this feature build trust? How do we create a real connection here? Because in the end, success isn't about designing another feature. It's about designing a relationship. Which leaves us with one last kind of fascinating question to chew on. With all of our incredible technology, AI, amazing wearables, complex software, could it be that the real secret to making digital health finally work is to just make it more human? All the research we've looked at today seems to point to a resounding yes. Thanks for tuning in.